Alright, the Jews have been telling you that Samael is an angel of God that works on his behalf. He's the chief of Satan's, and that he represents the venom of God. And I'm going to point out those biblical texts which illustrate these points. For one, we can recount the time where God unleashes fiery serpents upon the Israelites, fiery serpents, to go and bite them and kill many of them because of their grumbling in the wilderness and their groaning. And God unleashes fiery serpents, and the serpent is symbolic of the devil. And for some reason he asks them to make a bronze serpent on a pole called Nehushtan, and to raise it up and to gaze into its eyes. And if you gaze into the eyes of the serpent, you will be healed from its curse. That to me would parallel to something like the importance of ayahuasca, where in ayahuasca there's a lot of reference to the serpent. And Sophia in Gnosticism is a female and embodies wisdom, is the aeon of wisdom, and aeon is something primordial that has been here since the beginning of time. And wisdom in Proverbs 8 is spoken of as female, as the feminine, as it's the serpent was the most cunning animal, and the most cunning and wise animal was the serpent. And wisdom is spoken of in the Bible as a female. And Jesus said that wisdom is justified of her children, So I'm going to bring up also 2 Samuel 24. And again, the anger of the Lord was kindled against Israel, and he moved David against them. Go number Israel and Judah. For the king said to Joab, the captain of the host, which was with him, go now through all the tribes of Israel, from Dan even to Beersheba, and number them. All right. And then this same verse is recounted in, this same incident is recounted in 1 Chronicles 21. And Satan stood up against Israel and provoked David to number Israel. So in 1 Chronicles 21, it is Satan who provokes, Satan who provokes David to number Israel. And in 2 Samuel 24, it is the Lord who was kindled against Israel and his anger. So his anger is called Satan in 1 Chronicles 21 and 2 Samuel 24. The anger of the Lord was kindled against Israel. So Samael is the venom of God. Samael is the chief of Satan's. Samael does work on God's behalf. And Samael is the venom of God, which was kindled against the Israelites. Just like in the time in the wilderness where fiery serpents were unleashed. And to forget that side of the Lord, you're forgetting the power, his power. Our God is an awesome God. He reigns from heaven above with wisdom, power, and anger, and love, And that's why I think that ayahuasca is important. Ayahuasca carries the wisdom of the serpent. But the Gnostics are on a different footing with that. They say that God is antagonistic to our spiritual development, and that if we slip up, we will be loose to his deceptions, And so stay vigilant, because we have could be the Valentine Gnostics. The Valentine Gnostics attribute the demiurge the role of father. The Valentine Gnostics attribute the creator as father. But the other Gnostics aren't so befriending of the demiurge. And the demiurge means creator. And the creator of the material world. In Ecclesiastes 10:5 Solomon says, and I will read it. Solomon says there issue a problem as if it came from the ruler, that princes are kept in the roles of slaves, basically, is what he's saying. And I will give me a second to go to Ecclesiastes 10:5. There is an evil which I have seen under the sun, as an error which proceedeth from the ruler. And Satan is known as the ruler of the material world. Satan is known as the god of this world in 2 Corinthians 4:4. Satan is known as the god of this world. Satan is the chief of Satans, and Satan is the venom of God. God let his venom, God is angry at the world, so he lets his venom rule this material plane. I see. So, there is an evil which I have seen under the sun, as an error which proceedeth from the ruler. Folly is set in great dignity. Folly is set in great dignity, and the rich sit in low places. I have seen servants upon horses, and princes walking as servants upon the earth. And that is what Solomon is acknowledging the disposition of the wise and the rich, and folly set in high places, and dignity being enslaved. So these things are important to speak up upon, and this is Gnostic thought, the gnosis.